Hi Pisces, this is your forecast for the month of August 2017. If you have visited me before, thank you for returning, and if you are new, welcome. This is a general reading for Pisces Sun, Pisces Rising, or Pisces Moon. It might be helpful for you to watch your rising and your moon sign also. You can join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily insights on tarot and astrology, as well as my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/The Alchemist Astrologer, for love, finance, and other readings. So Pisces, you're starting the week off with a focus on teamwork, working with others, getting some assistance or offering that. And the focus is probably the chance to earn money, to grow somehow professionally, or to increase your status in some way. And part of that may involve some kind of learning, some knowledge, expertise. Maybe you're getting some certification or some kind of a degree, but the goal is to make progress. And the focus is getting reward, doing a good job, and showcasing your talents to the best of your ability. So this is about hard work and being very diligent, focusing on being a perfectionist in some way. So you're very aware of your situation, the strengths and weaknesses of it. You're building on something and you want it to be solid, and you may be getting some advice with regard to the cracks in the foundation. Now, some of you, you're literally dealing with tangible property. Maybe you're doing some home or property improvement. Some of you could even be changing your residence. But this is about finding out, what is working, what's not working, and let's make some changes accordingly. So this could be a good week for you if you've gathered all the information, if you see the full picture. This is a good time for you to start something, an endeavor, a pursuit, a new job, or take a relationship to the next level. Because again, you see the full picture. You know the strengths and the weaknesses. You know where things are liable to fall short, and you can shore those up. So you may want to conclude something, wrap something up, some project or your studies. And this is also a focus on making the most of your resources. So you're going to want to, whatever you do, you want to save money, you want to be efficient, you want to do it in the best way possible. Part of the idea of working with others may have to do with your personal connections, giving and receiving love, or being generous, being open-hearted, or knowing that something is not working on a particular level and you got to start loving yourself more because of it. So for some of you, you've been dissatisfied with your situation, whether that's your work, you feel like you haven't gotten your due. Maybe you were passed over for a promotion, or maybe you need to improve your skills because you're just not putting in that kind of performance that you need to, or your heart is not in a situation anymore. And so there's a lack of direction, a lack of ambition, or something that you don't know, a lack of knowledge. For some of you, you're going over a situation because there's a missed opportunity. And maybe you're even being criticized on some level, or you're looking at other people and their efforts and what they're putting in, and it's not coming up to par. For some of you, you're dealing with issues where there's been a lack of respect. You feel as if you can't move forward because of a situation, and it's affecting you financially, it's affecting your status, and so for you, you may be dealing with going over issues where something is holding you back or you feel like it is. A circumstance, an environment, a relationship, a job situation. You're not making the progress you want to, what you think you deserve, what you think you're capable of. And part of it is because you may have a lot of interference, a lot of distraction, a lot of challenging, emotionally insecure people that keep you on this track to nowhere. And so if you're dealing with a lot of clutter in your life, you know, you're not going to be able to wrap things up the way you want to. You're not going to be able to pursue your interests the way you want to. You're not going to learn the things that you dream of learning or growing because you're dealing with all this clutter. So for you, you need to address that first before you try to start a new job, or you try to start a project, or you try to enroll in a course. And for some of you, if this is about travel, which it may very well be, it's going to be sort of complicated, could be costly or frustrating in some way. Now, the second week you have a major card, and this is the Emperor. So maybe this has to do with cooperating with authority figures, getting some assistance from the government, a father figure, your company. Whatever this is a person that you're dealing with that has power, or they're in a high position, or they're somebody of importance. And they can either be working to help you, to protect you, or this is your rival or your opponent. Whatever it is, this is about authority and leadership and assertion, and you either claiming your power or being overpowered by others. So this is a week that focuses on control and who is in control. And you feel very emotional about a situation. Especially if last week you felt you were held back for some reason, this makes you want to really push and assert yourself in some way. You want to know exactly where you stand with regard to an issue. And you may find yourself reaching a limit to where you're speaking in a very direct and forceful manner, not because that's what you set out to do, but somehow the situation warrants it, and you find yourself caught up in that situation. And before you know it, you're boldly making statements that you didn't even think about before they came out of your mouth. But this is being driven by your need to protect yourself, your rights, your reputation, your security, your sense of belonging. And so there's an intensity this week that makes you want to know what the truth is. For some of you, you're getting a greater grasp on a situation, and you're gaining some authority. You know what's not working, and you want to take charge. You want to assert yourself. You want to direct your success. And so you're putting forth a lot of energy and force and will and drive behind something, because you want to get behind something that means a lot to you, something that connects to your sense of security, and you're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. The focus is on abundance. You want to get something out of your efforts, what you've been putting in. You want to see some results. Now, for some of you, this is going to take the form of power coming at you. Maybe you're dealing with somebody who is immature or doesn't know how to use power. They're dominating others. They're a bully. They're a tyrant. Maybe, there's something going on where you have to actually involve perhaps the law or the government. For some of you, you're having difficulty gaining control. There's a lack of progress. Somebody doesn't want to grow up or deal with issues or problems. They're running away from them. There's a lack of control or discipline. Maybe even it's coming out as rebelliousness or impatience or indecisiveness or being unreliable. Either that's you or someone else. Could be a lot of responsibilities, excessive responsibilities, too many burdens. And again, we get back to that Three of Pentacles and people in your life or situations that are weighing you down, holding you back, keeping you from living your dream. So for those of you who are dealing with that, it may be difficult for you to gain control, and you may feel so stressed about it that you start to push, you start to be domineering, or you try to force a situation or someone's hand faster than you need to, and that actually creates more of a problem for you. You can be too intense, too stuck in your beliefs, too self-righteous, and you end up, where you wanted to get assistance, you wanted to be part of the team, but because you're coming on so strongly, you end up having to stand alone. For some of you, this is going to be a week where you're just having a hard time coming to terms with the fact that you don't have the power that you want. And because of that, it's creating a stressful mental state for you that is wearing on you physically. This is a week to, again, take the initiative, be a leader, assert yourself in constructive ways, but don't fall prey to the temptation of being excessively controlling, petty, or demanding, because that's when somebody is really going to drive the point home that you don't have the power you think you do. Now, again, this could be you or someone you're dealing with. This may be an Aries person in your life. Now, the third week, you have more fire energy. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. Or it could just be the traits of this queen. If that's the case, there is a focus on being enterprising. This could be somebody very career-minded. This is somebody who's, got their hands in a lot. They may be involved in a lot of projects. Maybe they're very socially well-connected. They have a lot of influence. Maybe they are very competitive, or, they are socially involved in organizations, or promoting themselves, or something where they're in the spotlight in some way. Maybe they're marketing or promoting, or they're an entrepreneur, or this could be somebody who is willing to be protective, a patron of sorts, and expert. So you may be focused on your business success, and again, your leadership skills, your determination, your desire to influence something to go your way. You want to pursue your own interests. And so this could be a week where you find yourself passionately expressing and trying to influence a situation. You want to be noticed. You want to be appreciated. You want to be the center of attention, or you're dealing with someone who is like that. It's likely that you are going to take, the spotlight. People are going to notice you. You're going to attract a wide variety of people who are interested in you, your thoughts, your causes, professionally, romantically. And you're making connections where people spark that enthusiasm, that motivation, that inspiration. They get you going because whoever you're coming in contact gives you just that right charge that sparks your need for some kind of change or some kind of adventure. For some of you, you're having to use your discernment about this person. Maybe you're putting on a game face and you're hiding your true self. You're trying to find out the truth about this Queen of Wands. And you're going to need to look beyond, look under the surface for the truth about this Queen of Wands. If this is not a trait, if this is an actual person. It could be that somebody is vying for so much attention, power, and influence that they're being too aggressive, too domineering, and they're making more of a nuisance of themselves than anything else. So again, you have to determine if you are living out the traits of this queen, or this is an actual person. Now, the last week you have the Justice card, and this is a major card, a major week. Situations are largely out of your hands because there's a spiritual lesson involved. So this is about restoring order. And again, maybe you're dealing with the government, maybe you're dealing with lawyers, judges, somebody of authority, somebody who has the power to make decisions. So by restoring order in your life, you are able to be more objective. Whatever is going on, whoever is in it, whoever is stirring up the pot, you're not letting that shift the scales. You're trying to keep that balance. You may be focused on this, but you're not letting this thing, on the other hand, weigh you down. You're trying to keep your life in perfect synchronicity. So you're making adjustments, whatever those are, to keep that scale in perfect balance. Maybe you're having to make some changes. Maybe you're having to accommodate the unexpected. Whatever it is, whether you are deciding to make these changes to please yourself, or because you want to please another person, or maybe because you're having to deal with some kind of a loss. Whatever you need to do to keep that scale in perfect balance, you're willing to do, and you're able to do it. You're not getting caught up in a situation. Now, for some of you, this is about, of course, making decisions, judging others, but this is also about being judged. And we can get back to that Three of Pentacles, where perhaps you were under a review of some sort, or you were dealing with a conference, a meeting, a face-to-face discussion. So this is a week where if you've made any errors, any mistakes, those are going to come to light. So not only will you be looking at others, others will be looking and making a judgment about you. And again, maybe this is a legal issue. Whatever it is, you are trying to restore a better balance in your life between maybe your professional life, your personal life, your health, you versus other people. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that your daily routine runs smoothly. So you're looking at what you may have been taking on too much of or too little of. Because the name of the game this week is about what is fair, what is just, what is right. And you're going to reorganize your priorities and your agenda so that you can meet your obligations. Now, for some of you, there are some things happening outside of you, some external events, and it may take some effort on your part to remove yourself diplomatically from those situations. This is also a week where you're very mindful of what's fair, and so you may be very quick to take offense to a situation. Maybe somebody says something, or they do something, or they don't do something, and you feel that was something retaliatory, or that they were trying to slight you or criticize you in some way. But that's only because you have your own personal idea of what justice means, and maybe there's some prejudice involved in that, and that's going to confuse the situation. This is likely to connect to the past in some way, some memories you have, maybe family, and could be some difficulty moving on from a situation. For some of you, this is about, settling some old debts, working through some old issues where the order needs to be restored. There needs to be some accountability for something, and somebody needs to examine their conscience about the way they're handling their affairs. So this is a week that focuses on making the right decision, using intellect, being impartial, being neutral, and for some of you, coming up with a strategy to handle money situations in a better way. It could be some agreements or some settlements or some contracts that are in focus right now. The underlying energy is this Chariot. And so this is a week where, a month where, again, you are extremely focused on reaching a destination, a goal, a pursuit that you're after. And you're giving it all that you've got. The progress you make, though, will be through restoring that balance, working with others, trying to figure out the weak spots and what are the strengths, what's working, what's not. Let's make some changes. Let's make some adjustments. Balancing opposing forces, whether you're in opposition with other people or you're having an internal battle with yourself. This is a month where you can be very determined. There's a clear purpose. You're willing to assert yourself, apply your willpower. And if you do that with control, you're gonna have a victory. You're going to accomplish some kind of achievement. But again, this is all about self-control in order to face a challenge and overcome an obstacle. So you're going to have to, there may be a tendency throughout this month to feel angry, to feel emotional, to feel impulsive. And you will have to rein that in. You will have to maintain control over yourself, to keep balance, to not be reckless, to not barrel toward something and then find your chariot, rolling over in the dust. So you are looking out for your own interests, and part of that will be, you'll make strides by holding in any anger you feel. So you could be involved in a conflict, again, with others or with yourself. Now, one thing is there's going to be a focus on communication or travel or both. So some of you, this is tying into a romantic situation, or this search for new adventure, new horizons, or some kind of intrigue or something unusual is tied to this Chariot card. Now, this is a month for you to be careful in driving. Whenever this Chariot appears, he bodes the warning that you shouldn't be driving too fast or too reckless or taking chances on the road. Make sure your vehicle is well maintained, so that there could be transportation issues to deal with. But other than that, this is about you and self-mastery over you. So your attitudes, your moods, your viewpoints, you are affecting others and the environment. So you're going to be trying to grab the reins of a situation and take a leadership role because you want greater efficiency in your life. You may meet up with some delays. There could be some miscommunication. Could be some kind of technical difficulties, mechanical breakdowns, medical inconveniences. Anything that's going to test you emotionally and cause you to react. That's what you're going to have to be careful of. You're going to have to focus and concentrate to make gains. So your patience is going to be very important this month. Some of you, again, you're traveling, maybe you're relocating. And this is also about your belief system. How much you believe or vest in a situation or a person or an outcome. And that needs to be in balance, because if you feel too strongly in any direction, it could simply be that you're looking for that validation outside of self in order to gain confidence, or you feel that your happiness is resting on a particular outcome when that may not necessarily be true. You're going to have to understand in some cases that you don't have the power or the control that you want, either because you made a misjudgment, a miscalculation, or just simply external circumstances, things are beyond your control. So things may not go as quickly or as smoothly as you want them to. Whatever the case, you are definitely looking at your relationships and they may change in some way. They're entering a new phase, whatever that is. They're becoming stronger or weaker, or you're gaining new awareness and understanding of your connections. There could be some type of invitation involved. Maybe you're socializing with others, or maybe you're beginning a romance, or you've starting a new friendship, or there's some new opportunities in front of you, or you're getting out of your shell and getting more into the community. Whatever it is, for some of you, this Chariot represents a Cancer individual. But for most of you, it's just the need to reconcile two aspects of a situation and bring them into perfect balance. Now, this is going to center again on your relationships. Are you in positive connections? Are you relating in constructive ways? How are you allowing yourself to be dealt with? How are you allowing people to treat you? Are you showing others how you want to be treated? Are you getting back what you put into a relationship? So your attachments, you're evaluating your attachments to other people, to ideas, to concepts, to possessions. And either those, again, are growing stronger, or that link is becoming more apparent in its weakness. So you have 3 major cards. So this is going to be an especially significant month for you, emotionally or spiritually. And there is forward movement promised. You're building a solid foundation for some action to take place, and you are moving forward to further your goals. And by being practical, you're going to ensure some long-term success for yourself. This is a month where you believe totally in yourself, in your ideas, in your truth, whether it's right or wrong. And hopefully it's right, because you are acting based on those impulses, that gut feeling that what you're doing is correct. And you're selling that idea to yourself with the perfect sales pitch. You have already bought in. So this is about a plan, an idea, or a goal that you are acting on with every bit of your being. All right, Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.